All right, next lesson for today is average rate of change of polynomials. Which interval does h have a negative average rate of change? So from where to where? These are a little bit more work than we've had to deal with before. All right, so first of all, what is average rate of change? I'm going to use the hint down here to show you the formula. And also, if you notice down here, we can have other examples of Khan showing you this. I'm going to go through one. You can check out this video down below if my explanation is not good enough. All right, so the way to find an average rate of change is to do two steps. Average rate of change means we're going to plug in these two numbers in the interval. So let me go back up to the top to do this. So let's say I want to figure out if choice A has a negative average rate of change. I'm going to plug in each one of those numbers in for x. So first of all, I'm going to plug in -3. That gives me -3 squared is 9, and 9 minus 1 is 8. I'm also going to plug in 5 separately. So I get 5 squared minus 1 is 24. I'm going to take those two numbers and I'm going to put them in order. So 8 and 24. Then I'm going to subtract them. Okay, this is a part of a bigger formula. All right, so in my formula, I take my two answers I get, 8 and 24, and that tells me how much the function changes. So that tells me that it went down 16, right? 8 minus 24 is -16. But we also need to compare what happened to the x coordinates over the same time. So I'm going to take the two numbers that I plugged in, -3 and 5, and I'm going to subtract those on the bottom. -3 minus 5 is -8. I'm going to take that result and divide the two. That tells me I get -16 divided by -8. I end up with 2. That is my average rate of change for letter A. So is letter A's average rate of change negative? No. I'm going to repeat the same thing for letter B, C, and D, right? So if I do the same thing for letter B, I plug in 1. I plug in 4. I end up with 0, and I end up with 15. So 0 minus 15 over 1 minus 4. That's -15 on the top. That's -3 on the bottom. That equals 5. Negative divided by negative is a positive. So letter A is out. Letter B is out. We need to try letter C. Letter C looks like this. -3 squared minus 1. 1 squared minus 1. It's 8. This is 0. So let's take 8 minus 0. And on the bottom we'll have -3 minus 1, which is 8 over -4. Bingo. 8 divided by -4 is a negative number. And it doesn't matter what negative number it is, but it's a negative number, right? So over which interval does h have a negative rate of change? This is its rate of change. Another word for this would be its slope at that point over that interval. All right, so there can't be more than one answer, so we must be correct, which we are. All right, that's all.